All right, what's up, everybody? He is the founder of the Taiwan Impact Entrepreneur Group, the fastest growing English-speaking group probably on the island. And he's with us live tonight, right after this. Okay, there we go. Now we're live. Sorry, yeah, there. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for that, man.
Yeah, no, so it's been really great. And thanks for the invite. So, cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
So I heard legend has it that, the Taipei Spirit of Ecstasy resides here in Eddy's Cantina. And
okay.
I've heard that if a beer pumps run dry, then darkness will fall upon Taipei, and
that's right. We'll give it a shot today, right?
Yeah. So never, ever let those beer pumps stop running.
Sounds good, brother.
I've got to say, you've got some really good beer here.
We do. So what we do is, we started we're Mexican restaurant, right? But we actually, I would say, when the whole big beer boom thing happened here was about maybe 6 years ago. I met a lot of the guys that started doing the local craft breweries. And I love that, right? And whenever I travel, if I'm going out to eat and there's some beers and stuff, I always want to know what's local and what's fresh, right? So we try to provide that as well. So that's what we're doing. We got Red Point, we got 23, we got Block, we've got Jim and Dad's, we've got Tilted Shack, we've got 55th Street, we've got all those ones.
Listen, I'm not leaving tonight. I'm staying for a long time.
Hey,
I'm becoming a resident here with the Spirit of Ecstasy.
I appreciate it. Sounds good, my man.
Yeah, I remember when you were still up in Danshui.
You remember that? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Me and my partner, we bought burritos from you at the market.
Really? Oh, wow.
And then later on, when you moved up to that big intersection on top.
Yeah.
I think you only had Sol bottles.
We did. We had. Yeah, we didn't have much going on.
Yeah, outside as well.
That's right. We did
2 tables. You only had 2 tables.
We had 2 tables outside, and we had
sit about 10 people.
Yes, we had about. Yeah, I think we had 10 inside, but it was a very small place. I mean, weren't entrepreneurs. I wasn't an entrepreneur before I started coming to Taiwan. Before I came to Taiwan, I just cooked with mom, and the story is, I got married. Wife wasn't all that happy with her job, and I said, "What do you want to do?" And she said, "Well, let's do a coffee shop." And I said, "Well, that's tough for me because I'm not a big coffee guy."
There you go.
So if I were to do a coffee shop, it's phony, you know what I mean? Like, I would feel phony. Like, I'm okay with coffee, but I can go, I'm on 2 months, no coffee, no problem.
Yeah.
But, so if I'm going to be like, oh, I'm the coffee guy, I'm the coffee connoisseur, it's for me pretty fake. But Mexican food and beer, I can do that.
There we go. Wait. Beer and Mexican food.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
There we go. Get your priorities right, man.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So but I have to ask you before we start, how do you do with spicy food? Usually.
It's okay. I come from South Africa. South African guys, I always I've got to be tough and rough and macho, and I can drink more beers than you can, and all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
So one of the things, when I grew up, is who can eat the spiciest food.
Okay.
Like my brother, who's a year older than me, he at one stage had something like 52 different kinds of chili plants that he grew in his garden.
Really?
Yeah, so he was this really real chili connoisseur.
Okay.
And we would go just from plant to plant and eat it.
Really? Oh man, that's like Mexican style.
Out of you.
Okay.
Well, on the spot and the next day as well,
Yeah, the next day. Well, you'll see how it goes tomorrow for sure.
And I've so when I was younger, I could handle it. That was fine. I can still take it, but I don't have to prove myself anymore.
That's what happens when we grow up, right? We don't have to be the macho man. Back home we're the same. Where it's all macho. You're like, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I can bench press more than you, I can eat spicier, I can drink more beer.
That's it.
But now I'm like, I'm good. Whatever.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
Sure,
and I know with the way you do it, you step it up. I think that could work.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes, man.
I'm probably crapping myself for the last round because has anyone ever
not finished?
Has anyone ever eaten your last round or the last dish and said, that's okay, I don't taste anything?
Two people. There were 2 people. You're episode 78. there were two people that got all the way to the end. One is an MMA fighter, like a trainer from the States, an ABC guy. And another one is a Taiwanese Instagrammer girl. She's an influencer. And
wow,
they got to the end and they were just like, I was like almost embarrassed, like, I need to have a backup. So since then, the last wing, I took it up a notch. So after that, nobody for sure.
Yeah, well, so I need to go. I was just going to say I need to find that guy and beat him up for pushing a notch up. But since he's a fighter.
He's a fighter. I wouldn't recommend
that. I'll pull the disability card.
There you go. Yeah, be like, hey, pull the car. So let's grab the first one. The first one's just a basic buffalo wing.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Let's grab it right here, bro. There you go. You go drum or you go wing, whatever you want.
Good job. Yeah, I can't see what
there is. No problem.
Wing.
There you go.
Nice, man. I'm a sloppy eater, so do excuse me on that, but it's just I enjoy food so much.
Good. While you're eating that, I'll tell you, I had an assistant that used to help me with the show that moved back to Kaohsiung recently. And, she's helping me do all my stuff. And at the end, we're cleaning the tables. And one time she just looked at me and she's like, you know what? Out of there was maybe 50 or 60 shows at the time. She's like, out of 50 or 60 people, you're the messiest. You have the biggest mess. And you're the sloppiest. And I'm like, well, thanks for noticing. I appreciate it. So we'll see how it goes, yeah?
What I can't see does not bother me. And that's pretty much everything.
Okay.
So I love my food. I eat a lot. And yeah, it's pretty tricky to use chopsticks when you're blind.
Okay.
So it happens that, I can use chopsticks. That's fine. I've got no issue with it. But occasionally there are some tricky dishes where I would rather prefer to use a spoon.
Of course, yeah.
I would be using chopsticks and be struggling to pick up those little pickled peanuts that you get in the dishes.
Peanuts. I was going to say because of peanuts. Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so I'm trying to pick it up, and then somebody would lean over from another table and say, "Are you new in Taiwan?"
And you're like,
yeah, sort of. Let's just put it, just.
Yeah, but, of course. That's so funny. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be walking down the street and I'll get the random, oh, hey, welcome to Taiwan. And they'll be like, oh, thank you so much. How long have you been in Taiwan? And I'll be like, 17 years. And they're just like,
this is funny, absolutely gorgeous.
Right on, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah.
So tell me.
There we go. We are good.
Let's start it. I know your history quite a bit.
Beautiful.
Since we've been there.
If you have any questions for me, man, go for it.
Yeah, I want to dig into your...
Let's do it.
Since I'm working a lot with startups and people who want to get into business. When you were doing your burritos, so you didn't want to do a coffee shop, so you ended up doing burritos at a night market.
Yes.
That's quite a bold move.
Especially 15 years ago, man.
And 15 years ago, English teaching really paid well. I know it's still it's still paying okay. It's
still pretty good, no? Yeah, okay.
But it's false economy. I see it as false economy. I'll explain later on.
Okay.
But that must have been a bold move going from being an English teacher to doing a night market, or did you hybrid?
No, so what I did was we wanted to do, my wife wanted a coffee shop. And again, I told you, I can't be a phony, right? I just can't be that guy, right? So we didn't do that. And I told her, she knows my family. My family's Mexican. So we said, let's try this. She knows our food. We practice. We do a few burritos. And we lived in Danshui. So we were walking down, the old street, Danshui Laojie. And we walked up and there was this Thai sort of drink place. And, we were getting, I think it was Thai. Anyways, the one where they take the 2 cups and they don't stir it, but they kind of do that.
Yeah.
I think it's Thai. I'm sorry if it's not. But anyways, it's milk tea. It's good. So I'm like, let's get that. We talked to the lady. We're like, hey, how did you set this thing up? And she's just like, the guy beside me selling sausages, he's the landlord. So if you want a space, you talk to him. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she's like, actually, I'm done in 2 weeks. So if you want this space, talk to him.
Nice.
So I said, okay, let's go talk to him. So I said, hey, how you doing? We're thinking about doing something here. He's like, yeah, man, you have your 1 ping, right? It's $33,000 a month, 33,000 NT a month for that one little ping,
that's
right?
That's 16 years ago.
Yeah, 16 years ago, right? So I was like, ooh. I said, that sounds a little high, but I'm okay. So I'm like, all right. So we're looking at it. We're thinking about it. We're like, okay, we go home, we think about it. And the guy's like, these places go really quick because they're in a market. I don't know about now. Sure. I don't know about now. But at that time, it was just like markets are just turnovers crazy, right? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, we'll think about it. So we went home. And we're talking. We went back again, and we talked to the guy, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, if you want it, you got to pay the deposit because everybody wants it, you know? It was a good location.
What deposit do they take, 2 months?
It was 2 months, yeah.
Okay.
It was 2 months. So like, you got to pay that, and I'm talking to my wife, and we're not ready. I mean, I guess nobody's ever ready. So I said, let's do it. We just got married. I was like, all right, let's do it. So we did it. We paid the money. And after that put like the pressure on, like the fire sort of under our ass a little bit because we couldn't.
Yeah. Can't turn back.
We already paid.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not going to give it back. We're like, let's do it. So, what did we do? We went to Ximending. Behind Ximending, there's that street. You know that street?
All the gear.
It's like the restaurant street / restaurant graveyard.
I love scratching around there. Me and my partner go there at night.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
We don't buy anything. We just scratch.
No, it's great.
I love it. Yeah.
It's good because you go in there and they've got pretty much everything you need. And so we bought a stand and we bought the machines and we bought the warmers.
Did you buy everything brand new?
We did because this was a long time ago. We didn't even know where. I mean, we had no idea about secondhand at the time. Like, we had nobody who did it before us that we knew. So we just bought it all, but it was cheap. Like, a stand was about $10,000.
And
it's not bad.
Sorry, but I dread to think how gunky a secondhand one's gonna be.
Yeah, for sure.
Surely it can be clean, but I know how much did you pay for your entire set?
For the stand in the night market?
The entire sort of set that you had. On your day of opening, what did that cost you?
So I would say, not including the rent and all that, right? Like, you're talking just equipment.
Just for setup.
Just equipment? Probably 50,000. Not much.
Okay.
Maybe 40,000. Not much. Okay. I was going to say the stand is about, I think, 10 or 12. The warmer for the beans and rice, and I would say under 50. So it's a good way to try, Yeah. It's a good, if you've got something you want to try, I would say go to a night market, find a spot and do that because what's the worst that can happen? I mean, you're going to be out $50,000 or $100,000 or whatever, and then you go back and teach, right? But it's different than a restaurant. A restaurant, when you put everything in, let's say you spend $5 million on a restaurant on equipment, and then you're out of business. The second-hand guy's like, oh, $5 million, hey, I'll give you $50,000. That's about it, man. Yeah.
See, that's why I want to dig into what it cost you and what it involved and the mindset that you had when you started out with that. Because I get a lot of people saying to me, oh, they're coming to Taiwan or they're already in Taiwan, they're tired of teaching, for instance. And they're going to set up a restaurant. They're going to use Auntie Mary Ann's
recipe,
beef casserole recipe.
I love it. Send them to me. I love those guys.
But they're going to come and set up a restaurant.
I would say,
obviously, always my first question is, how much cash do you have? And they're like, well, I've got like 15,000 US. I'm like, that's for the first day.
Yeah, that's about right.
Screwed.
No, so basically, you have to do, if you want to do it like that, you have to do a night market. Go into a night market. The killer is going to be the rent. But if you're there hustling every day, it should be okay. Equipment is pretty cheap, depending on if you need to use imported ingredients and imported equipment and all that. But for me, Mexican food can be done with really basic stuff. Even my restaurant kitchen.
Flour and water, and you've got your...
That's right, we got tortillas, beans and rice, and seasoning is a little bit tougher, but the secret is... I was raised in Canada, and my parents are Mexican, right? So obviously my family's Mexican, but my mom was able to cook pretty authentic Mexican food in Canada with 0 ingredients. So that's where it came from. So I know a lot of Mexican people that come here, and they want to open something, and they're like, oh, we can't do this because there's no ingredients. Where do you get these, or where do you get that? And I'm like, I don't get that. I just make what I can make without that, right? So...
And there are a lot of general herbs and spices that you use.
For sure,
coriander, turmeric, cumin.
Exactly,
whatever, just mix it right.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So, okay. what makes a night market stall really stand out or work? So you were selling. This is 16 years ago.
Did I stand out to you? Yeah.
Food, especially Dan Shui. I knew Dan Shui very well because I left at the same time.
Okay.
And so what made you stand out? Because I'm struggling to imagine why people would have had gone. I know your burritos were great.
No, for sure. Most people didn't even know what they were. Like Taiwanese people at that time, they had the Alibaba at every night market where they were throwing the the pizza throw, the pizza throw. And I didn't do that, right? So Taiwanese people would come in and they're just like, oh, I don't really like Indian food, and I was like, this is not Indian food, and they're like, yeah, I see your little bimpi, your little tortilla, and so we're doing horchata, which is that drink right there. And they're like, oh, we don't like Indian milk tea, and I already had Indian milk tea this week, and I'm just like, so it was completely new. It was completely new, and what I did was, I tried to give it the feeling of like when I go to Mexico, sort of that night market feeling. On the front of our stand, we had this like metal sort of extension that would pull up, and we'd put like stools there. We'd serve beer, and for me, I tried to make it like Mexico, sort of the Mexican feel. And what we try to do is we had a little stereo there with some Mexican music going.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And night markets are pretty loud, so that was okay. I think one of the main things was me, right? If it's all Taiwanese people, especially that was 16 years ago, when you're a foreign teacher, right? They see the foreign teacher and they're like, okay, well, he's from a foreign, an English-speaking country.
You were still young and handsome in those days. I remember that.
I was, yeah. So,
geez, what happened?
Time flies, I guess.
That's what restaurants do to you.
It's true, man. So if you want to get into a restaurant, be prepared to put on like 10, 15 kilos of just pure fatness.
We should whack up a before and after.
We should actually. I could have brought one. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, but no, I so we did that. It was pretty good, and one of the things was, just people would notice it's foreign food. I think in Taiwan, people are interested. They're interested in foreign food. They might not know what it is, but they're interested. I mean, if you see first of all, any restaurant that's new, they open up, you put up those big red pineapples to let everybody know it's new.
Yeah.
Taiwanese, they want to go. They want to go try. They want to be the first to try the new place. This is my experience.
Well, you pay 50 students to stand in a line.
That's also something as well, for sure.
Standing in lines.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay.
Whereas us, we see a line, and I'm like, I'm not waiting in line. Yeah. Like Costco, I get to the front of the line, I'm like, what is that? It's like a little chunk of ham. I'm like, I'm not lining up. But the whiskey lineup's empty.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, okay, I quickly want to dig into the...
Do it. Go for it,
the overheads, and how did you cover the overheads? What were your profit margins?
How
did you manage to pay the bills?
Okay.
Because just in my head, 33,000 a month on rent, I would easily double that on other expenses such as ingredients,
for sure,
etc.
Yep.
So to cover, say, 70,000 a month, you have to sell a shitload.
That is welcome to the food business.
Did you make a profit?
In the first year, there was very little profit. I'm not going to lie. So let me tell you what my schedule was like for my first year. So I would teach kindergarten, from 8:30 to 11:30. I'd go home. My wife, we just got married. She had lunch ready for me. We'd prep the beans and the rice and the chicken, and I'd hand make the dough because I had no machine. I'd hand make all the dough. And then I'd go back from about 1:30 to 3:30, something like that, and I'd teach English again. I'd go back, pick up my wife, load the scooter up, the scooter that I still drive today.
Wow.
I'd load the scooter up. This is almost only halfway through the day, man.
Respect to that one, huh?
Only halfway through the day. I'd load up the scooter. We drive to Danshui because our stand, there's no kitchen there. There's nothing there except you're storing your place and you have a plug.
Yeah.
So you have to clean the stand because it's super filthy every
night.
So you
look like a real Taiwanese family on your scooter with.
And my scooter was way back in the day, the Taiwanese scooters, they had you could opt for like an extended front.
Okay.
Where like all the Taiwanese people would stack like Coke and that's my scooter. I still drive that now. I still use that now.
Good,
so I had like the super Taiwanese scooter. I'd load up the beans, the rice, the chicken, the cheese, and the dough, the tortilla dough. We'd bring it there. set up. We'd clean up. We'd have to clean again in the night and in the morning. We'd clean it again. I'd leave my wife there, all set up, ready to go, start selling the food. I would go back, coach soccer for 2 hours.
Wow.
And then I would come back from about, I would say 6-ish till about 11. Sell food till about 11. And then about 11:30, we'd clean it up, pack it up, and go home, drop dead of exhaustion, and be like... And then be like, next day, let's do it again. We closed on Monday and Tuesday. And people were always like, oh, you're so lazy. You close Monday and Tuesday.
Wow.
I'm like,
yeah,
you guys, you don't even know what's going on. So take it easy.
Did you keep the trolley there, your stand there?
Yeah, yes. Because we paid rent, that was one of the perks, that you could actually leave it there.
Okay, yeah, that's quite a big perk.
What? Oh, yeah. Sorry. If you guys are watching on Facebook, do us a favor, jump over to YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel because it really helps us a lot. Let me hit that button up there. Boom.
Yeah, no, go for it, guys. Come on.
Please do it. Yeah, if you're
all you guys on my Thai group, support Eddy.
Please do, guys.
Definitely come for his food, man. Food and drinks, it's superb.
Thank you, guys. So, if you're on Facebook, jump over, enjoy. If you're on YouTube, enjoy the rest of the show. Let's grab that next wing, and I'll keep telling the story. That is a sort of a chipotle wing. Chipotle is like a smoked jalapeno. Oh. So you grab the drum or the wing.
It's a sticky one.
It's a sticky one. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Cheers. Catch you guys.
There you go.
Smoky.
Yes. So we actually had not much profit first year. Long story short. Hi. Second, when we moved, we did about 1 year there, and then we moved up the street, right? And to a much crappier location. But the rent for that was $36 for the restaurant. The second floor was an apartment.
Nice.
And then a third was a rooftop.
Wow.
So the whole building was $36.
Could you see the ocean from there?
We couldn't. No, we couldn't.
Not the ocean, the river.
No, we couldn't. We couldn't see anything from there. But when we had the stand, it was 33 plus about 20 for our house rent. And then we moved there, it was 36, everything.
Wow.
Way crappier location, but it was all right. We really wanted to give the feeling of, you can come in, you can have the music, you can have the drink, you can have the food, kind of a bit of an ambiance. The walls were really bright and stuff like that. And so we wanted to do that. But to be honest, unless you're really lucky, I do know some people. Like last week I had Timothy, a good friend of mine from Pastillo. Timothy Liu from Pastillo. I don't know if you... Fantastic food. Like those guys have from day one full.
Yeah.
And they're full every day. But this is rare.
But
like,
that's
this is rare.
That's location and that's also a lot of marketing. Remember when you were doing your stuff?
Yeah. It's
this
very
was
rare.
before
Facebook.
Mobile phones, before Facebook, social media kicked in.
Yeah, I remember.
None of that stuff existed. You literally relied on...
It was all word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth is the best, but also the slowest.
Yeah.
Always the slowest.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good when a friend recommends it.
I actually had my birthday party there once, but we were
only
really? 4 or 5 people.
Hey, that's all right. I appreciate that.
I was sort of pretty much under the covers those days.
Okay.
But I want to dig into the...
Go ahead, man. Whatever you want.
The psychology of like when you were... How many times when you were standing at your stand did you say to yourself, what the fuck am I doing here?
Almost every day. Almost every day, man.
So why did you keep on pushing forward if you were making very little profit?
Well,
the weather is crap.
Yeah.
You're working your ass off. Why did you...
So we kind of had a bit of... it was a bit of a dream for me. Like I figured... I was 28. This is a long time ago. I was 28 years old. I just got married. I figured, look, if we really takes a shit, if we fail, I can just go teach and coach soccer again. Actually, the money is decent. And I thought I really wanted to give it a shot. I really wanted to share sort of the food that I grew up with. I missed it, and I wanted to share that. There was no other Mexican places at the time. And I had the feeling, I don't know, it's going to happen. I had this drive. I had a feeling where it's like, you know what, this is going to be something someday. And every year I would tell my wife from then until like last year maybe, this is the year. We're going to make money. We're actually going to make some money this year. It's not going to be so crazy. Business is going to be stable. It's basically we're running on fumes for many years. There were many times when we actually, it's payday and you're like, payday's on a Monday.
Yep.
I hope this is a busy weekend. And sometimes it's like it was, and you're like, okay, we got enough to pay everybody. And sometimes it wasn't. I can remember specifically 2 to 3 times that we had to go to the bank and max out. First of all, we're like, can we get a loan? And they're like, no. Yeah. And we're like, okay, so what can we do? They're like, you can max out all your credit cards and we'll give you the cash for like ridiculous interest. And we did that about 2 to 3 times just to pay the staff.
Why did you do that?
Why did we do that? Because we also felt that I didn't want to give up. I'm not a quitter. I said I knew that what we were doing was good. Just on faith, man, to be honest. It was just faith. Yeah. I thought one day it's going to be something. One day I want this brand to be something, to mean something. I really, really wanted to make it work. And to be honest, it took a lot longer than I thought it would to get to this point. You know, people say, I know how to make a taco. I know how to make a burger. I know how to make a sandwich. I'm going to open my own place. It's a lot more work than you think. And making the food is like 10%, maybe 15 max. So it's crazy with marketing and now on social media, and you've got to be a leader to the staff, and you have to come out and you have to chat with customers, and you have to make sure everybody's happy. You got to make sure that your
face and your image is
crazy.
A massive part of entire success of a business like this.
I agree. Yeah.
How many?
I love it.
And how many times did you and your wife sit at night, perhaps, and say, "Screw it, let's just go fall back into the comfort zone of full-time teaching"?
You know what? I actually have. Here was our turning point for me. First of all, it's a mindset, I think, right? So this is what happened. We're about to have my daughter. We're broke, and it was like, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 years in. About to have my daughter, broke for all these years. I missed my best friend's wedding in Canada because I had no money.
Yeah.
I missed everybody's birthday party, everybody's 50th, blah, 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 anniversary. I missed everything for a decade because I'm broke. I have no money to go back. Some of my friends haven't forgiven me about that. I actually apologize for that. But one time we just said, you know what? One of my friends, he got into a restaurant. It sucked. Within a year and a half, he sold it. And then I called him up. I'm like, hey, man. He's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, how did you sell your restaurant? He's like, there's this website. You put it up there, and people start contacting you. And then a friend of a friend, he also had a Mexican restaurant downtown called the Mayan Grill. It's like a high-end sort of Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
And he's an American guy. He was like, you know, let me take a look at it. He's like, how much do you want? And I have no idea. I had no idea how to do numbers. I'm like, $1 million, right? And the guy's like, okay, let me come and look at it. So he comes in and he's like, okay, I'm going to change this. And when someone's looking at your stuff like that, like saying, oh, how much do you want for this shirt? And you
yeah.
You know, it's the worst feeling ever. And I was like, okay. And I mean, he wasn't a bad guy, but it was not a very comfortable experience.
It's your child.
It's your child, right? Yeah, it is. It really is. And it wasn't that he was like a really bad guy, but he lowballed me. Like, I think he offered me less than half.
Wow.
And I was so pissed. And I just said, you know what? From that day, I was like, fuck this. I am going to go down with this ship. I said, from then on, it's not just a job or a hobby or a dream. I'm like, it's this or I'm going to die.
Yeah.
It's this. I'm going to make this work or I'm going to die. One or the other. And from then on, I cut the safety net. I think that's what it was. I cut the safety net for, I kept in touch with all my old schools and summer camps. And I just said, I'm not doing anything. No more private classes. No more this, no more that. I cut the safety net. I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to make sure everybody that comes in here has a good time. Yeah. They like the food. They like the place. It's just this or I'm going to die. This or death. I had to really just do that. And then from then on, it started to go up. And then we decided we still weren't really making any money, but it was enough to be like, okay, now we can kind of move to Tiamu. And now we had our baby. And it's like, okay, it's getting there. Yeah. But again, from then till now, it's probably still like 5 years. No, more. Maybe more than 5 years. And it was still, again, it took longer than I thought. It took a lot longer than I thought, man. Yeah.
But I mean, okay,
this or death. That's what it was for me.
Back in the days of the night market stand.
Yes.
What were your vision? What did you envision yourself in 5-10 years? Never mind it taking much longer, but did you envision what you have now?
No, I did not actually. To be honest, for me, I'm a really easygoing guy, pretty mellow. Man, get in there. That's Korean.
Yep.
Get in there.
There we go.
I'm a pretty easygoing guy, and really, my wife wanted to have something, and because everybody told us, "What are you doing? You're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. You guys don't know what you're doing." And it's a little bit of spite. I'm not going to lie, because people are just like, "You're an idiot. You're teaching. You're coaching. You're making pretty good money." And then my in-laws, they didn't really like me for a long time because I married, my wife. She did some studying.
You're not providing.
Well, not that. It's even worse. She was teaching English as well, so she was getting a pretty good salary. So I took her. In Taiwan, the English teacher is a high level. So the teacher. So I took her from teacher to street vendor. I married her and turned her into a street vendor.
Yep.
Just telling them, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And for so many years, they just kind of shook their head at us, and I just was like, I have to make this thing work, man. I have to. I can't give up. I can't stop. I will learn whatever the hell I have to learn to make this thing work, man.
See,
so I did. Got a little sauce on the hair, yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go. All good. No worries. Yeah. All good.
It's like, have you ever read the book The Art of War written by Sun Tzu?
I haven't, and I heard it's awesome. Yeah.
One of the techniques that he utilized.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Was in order to win wars. So he was totally outnumbered. Like he's got like 500 troops and he has to fight like 20,000.
Okay.
He will put his troops on what he called death ground, where he'll position them in a place where they've got a rock face behind them and there's no ways they can retreat.
Burn the boats.
It's fight or get fucked.
Okay.
Straightforward.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's a very, very important principle in business, and that's exactly what you did.
That's what I did, yeah.
I'm going to go down with a ship no matter what.
Doesn't matter. This or death.
He won most of his wars, well, nearly all of his wars, based on that principle.
Okay.
Because if you've got no options, and, then you're just going to go all the way to make it work.
I agree.
And that's a problem that I find, for instance, in the entrepreneur group with... especially the English-speaking foreigners who are allowed to teach English here. Yep.
I'm going to pull that little image up there of your logo there. Yeah, boom.
It's a little.
Still I love it.
Lucrative. It's it's lucrative to teach English.
I know.
But that's why I call it false economy. So yes, you can earn 80,000 Taiwan dollars a month,
and you can live very well with that.
You can live very well.
Yes, I agree.
But that's your ceiling. Yes, I know some do go a bit higher, but they do work their asses off on Saturdays and Sundays as well. But that's your ceiling for the rest of your life. It's probably the ceiling is going to come lower as the English proficiency increases in Taiwan, and the population is decreasing. That's going to come down. So that's why I call it false economy. It's screw it, just go out and do your business. I'm sure you do quite a lot better, you and your wife, each individually, than the vast majority of English teachers.
We do, but it took a long time to get there. You know what I mean? Like, I was making maybe 60 or 70, maybe 80. And my wife was doing, it's funny because she went in and she was, doing her English teaching job, and they hadn't decided what to pay her yet. And then I said, okay, because I hate to say it, but I've been here for a long time. I know it was up. So I went in and I chatted with everybody like, hey. And they're like, ooh, she's married to a foreigner. Her English must be better, right?
Yeah.
So then she got higher pay. So she got, I would say 55, 60. Like we were both making some money, man. It was good. And we were, young, no kids. It was pretty solid, man.
Yeah.
How you doing? You all right?
No,
spice-wise?
It's nice. It's nice.
Okay,
Just want to keep it easy on the
beer.
beer.
Okay. No worries, man.
I don't want those taps to run down,
Okay.
Run empty.
So it was good. Go ahead.
So this took you a number of years to build up. You regret it at all? Any other thing?
No.
Something else you would have had done instead?
I do have some regrets, but none of this. For this, everything that I do nowadays, everything that I buy, every kind of like dollar that I spend, I want to raise the sales here. I want to make my staff happier. I want to make the situation better. I recently had an investor for this location, and I recently bought him out, and so now it's all ours. I'm still making payments on that, but I did that. We had a shared office space. I closed the office. I got rid of a whole bunch of things I needed to get rid of, and so theoretically, there's a little bit more money to play with, right? Yeah. And I mean, I'm investing a little bit in like crypto, like I'm not huge into that, but I know people that are, and I'm not doing the big high risk things, but I'm trying to make it, I want to be, I think in every sort of wealthy family, there's one person that is the one that kind of made it, that takes them up there, and that takes that step. And I mean, we don't have wealthy family. My family in Mexico is not very wealthy, and then my parents moved to Canada. They had me there. They wanted, they want to have a better life for us, quote unquote, right? And that moved us into middle class. And then, I came here, and I feel I'm still, pretty middle class. But I would like to be. I'm not a greedy guy. I mean, I can eat beans and rice the rest of my life, and I still have my scooter from the stand. I still drive it.
Beer is cheap enough in this country.
Yeah, exactly.
Just level of beer.
Exactly, right? So I feel that I want to do it just because I want to. I actually don't care that much about the money. I just want to do it because I just want to do it. It's a goal. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I started this podcast because there's a lot of people that you get to meet in this business that they're just doing so many amazing things. Like you, the group that you started is exploding. Like how old is that group? Like a year?
About 10 months at the moment.
Yeah, not even a year, right?
Yeah,
and it's exploding. You got you did something in Shinju recently.
Yeah, we had our first event in Shinju this weekend.
How did that? That's amazing.
It was great fun. It's really nice to. In about 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have one in Taichung.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a Taichung coming up.
Yeah,
right?
and by the end of the year, I want to cover all the major cities in Taiwan.
I love it. And
sort of just once every 2 months, have a nice brunch meeting there.
I love it.
Guys and girls there, and they can also take things further by if they want to set up something on a weekly or every 2 week basis, then sure they can. I can't travel around that much, but myself and my partner are super happy to.
Okay.
For a weekend, quickly pop down to Taichung or Kaohsiung or wherever.
Yep.
So I'm really happy to do that, and it's such nice people that you meet.
Yeah, for sure. Agree.
Really nice.
I agree.
So
keep going. I want to signal the next round over here.
Absolutely enjoy it. Just a quick
round 2. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Quick. This is quite a personal question.
Let's have it, man.
Your work.
I love it.
Your wife's work. She worked with you
from
the beginning, and she backed.
I know
you
the
up.
question.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because me and my partner, I mean, we've been together now nearly 15 years, and we've got a business together. We've done quite a number of things that worked and which didn't work.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've still got one export business running together.
Okay.
And
how stressful?
How did you survive that? How did Joe survive that?
How did she survive that? It was both of our dream to make it happen. We both had different dreams. Hers was one solid place. The best place. The one place in town where you can get this and you can get that and everything. And she wants to come. Yeah. And she wants to run it, and she wants to do all the crazy stuff that we do. And for me, I was like, I want to get this thing set up, get it running, and then I want to systemize it, and then I want to maybe franchise it.
Yeah.
And have I done that? No, not yet. But now that I'm down to one, I have the time where I'm working on building a system, right? And I think that there hasn't been that many days where we haven't fought. I'm not gonna lie, like we fight a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know. We both have the same dream. We just figured different ways of getting there. You know.
Yeah.
And I just feel that she, to be honest, I don't know about your partner. But my wife is Taiwanese.
Yeah.
So she has to handle all the Chinese stuff. So she, to be honest, everyone's always like, "Hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing amazing." All of the nitty gritty, crappy stuff, she does the most because. Again, I don't know if your partner's Taiwanese, but
yeah, my partner's Taiwanese.
You're right. Okay, so when you're with someone who's Taiwanese, and you're married or whatever, and you're a foreigner, I don't want to say you don't count, but anytime I go to get anything, they're like, "Oh, your wife is Taiwanese." Okay, so they just stop talking to me, even though I speak Chinese. I've been here a long time. I have my APRC.
Yeah.
I remember one time we went into Taiwan Da, right, to renew. Yeah, can you send out round 2? Thanks, man. Can we get one more long dong too? Thanks, man. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's on me. And so basically, we went into Taiwan Da, and my wife was renewing her contract. Mine is Chunghwa Telecom. And they're like, "You're renewing her thing, doing all her stuff." And they're like, "Well, what about you? You speak Chinese?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're just like, "Well, what about you? You want a new phone?" I'm like, "Well, not really. I don't really care about that stuff too much." And they're just like, "Okay, so, are you with Da?" And I'm like, "No, I'm with Chunghwa Telecom." And they're just like, "So I'm going to offer you, this contract. I'm going to give you a new phone, and your wife is a longtime customer." And they give me all these things and, brand new iPhone, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay. The most important thing to me is that my cell phone is the number's in my name." Because it's like now this restaurant, but aside from that, my cell phone is the only thing in my name. Because anytime we go anywhere, they're like, "Oh, your wife's Taiwanese? Okay, your wife can sign. It's like she's my mom. She's got to sign the permission slips for everything, right?" Which is still, I've been here for like half my life, and it's still like that. And so I went and we do this whole thing, and I'm like, it has to be not connected and no signature, no nothing from my wife. They're like, "Sure, of course. I mean, come on, of course. We're men, We got your APRC. You've been here a long time. You speak Chinese, of course." Okay. So I go around, I'm filling all these paperwork out, and then I see this phone. I'm like, "Okay, pick a phone, pick one." Okay, I get this phone. And then they're like, "Okay, cool." They give me the phone, and everything is like all done. And I'm like, "Okay. We need a signature here." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to sign it." And like, "Oh, no. Not you.
Yeah.
Your wife needs to sign for you." And I said, No. We talked about this already."
Yeah.
And they're just like, "I'm going to give you a free phone. All you need to do is let your wife sign." I'm like, "No, I already told you my wife is not signing my permission slip." Okay? Because I'm like...
But that's on their tick box. They need to tick that box. If they can't tick it, you can't have it.
Yeah. So I know. But I'm like, man, I'm fine with my phone. My current phone at at Chunghwa Telecom is one of the few things that is my own, and it's a stupid thing. But I was like, no, I'm not going to give up my phone. And they're just like, "I'm going to give you a free phone. Just let your wife sign this." I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. So I was like, "Well, okay, here you go, sir. Here's your phone. Give everything back to you. Thank you very much." Yes. And I was like, no, and I still kept my stupid old phone. And I'm like, because recently, like within the last 2 months, like I said, I bought we bought my investor out. So this is in my name and my phone.
Okay, so now you can walk around with the papers.
Now I actually have something in my name. But aside from that, every bill, every single thing we have, nothing's in my name. And it's silly, but it is what it is, I guess, right?
But it's still, it means a lot.
It means a lot to me too. I just feel I'm not a child. I don't need my wife to sign everything I need to do. Yeah. Because a lot of the times they'd be like, "No, you can't. You have to have your wife." "Oh, I need to get a credit card. I have this in my bank account." No. Yeah. Your wife needs to sign.
I'm happy from my side because I'm a super impatient person.
Okay.
If you can say something in 10 words, don't use 1,000, because then I just turn around and walk out.
I love it.
How they go here.
Oh my gosh.
They just talk and they repeat and they ask the same question and you have to repeat and it's back and forth. So I don't go into a bank here.
Oh, the bank.
My partner has to go and do it, and luckily he lived in South Africa with me for a while.
Really?
For 5 years or so.
So he's chatty, but you're chatty.
No,
though.
But he's also he learned that whole thing of listen, just cut the bullshit and get to the point.
Okay.
Stop blinking your fake eyelashes and get to the point.
Yep. So
I do like that because I refuse to walk into a bank. You go to a foreign exchange counter. This is years ago. I haven't been in a bank yet.
I never go. Yeah, my wife does that.
Or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
But back then, I would go into a foreign exchange section counter, and then.
Oh God!
But back in those days, still travelers checks. I still have.
Okay, we've been here for a while together. Yeah. It's all right. There you go, brother. Enjoy. Yeah.
Thank
Salud.
you. Cheers. Oh, you'll come by, huh?
What do you guys say? Salud. No, you don't say salud. Gezondheid. I've heard
health.
that. To your health, right?
Yeah, your health.
How do you say it one more time?
Gezondheid. Yeah, it's similar to Dutch
it's
or German.
Yeah, it sounds similar.
Gezondheid.
Okay.
But years
ago... So you speak Afrikaans, right?
Yeah, no,
is that your
Afrikaans.
First language? Or?
Yeah, it's my first language. It's my home language.
Okay.
I studied it at school, but my Afrikaans is really terrible. It's really I call it a kitchen language. Well, my version, but
it's the ghetto version.
I cannot do business in it.
Okay. Oh my God, that's crazy.
I just don't have a way to articulate in it.
I understand.
I probably swear and curse too much when I use it, but my dad would be laughing now because it's like he knows how I speak Afrikaans. So yes, it's my home language. And I enjoy it. It's a nice language, but I never really learned it properly.
Okay. You know what's funny? My Spanish is like that. So I grew up, obviously, in Canada, but I speak Spanish at home with my family. So I don't know which. It might be my first language because my mom couldn't speak English when I was a kid. But again, when I go back to Mexico, we speak Spanish there, but I like to call it like the ghetto Spanish. Like where we live, it's like ghetto Spanish. Every second word is a cuss word.
Yeah.
It's every single thing is making fun of. All they do is bust each other's balls all day, and that's how my Spanish is, right? So sometimes you get customers that come in, and the customers that come here that speak Spanish are not like the ghetto Spanish guys. They're like embassy, super embassy, and then I really have to keep a filter on my Spanish.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to insult anybody, I'll be like, it's fucking guy right here, I can't say that with like the head of the friggin' embassies, because they came here, everyone's in suits, everyone's dressed up, they want to have a good time. So I can't be like, busting people's balls, right? So my Spanish is the same. I know exactly how you feel because I have to keep a real filter on my Spanish. And sometimes it gets not as smooth as it should be. Because I mean, every second word is a curse word, and it's crazy. It's my Spanish is ghetto Spanish for sure.
No, but that's fine, man.
It's funny, man. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold up. No, that one, no. Well, that didn't work, so we won't pull it up. Okay. So now I finally know Eddy's history. All right, Startup Taiwan. Hello, Eddy and Andrew. How's it going, buddy? Serious Industries.
Yeah, that's
shout out to
Roy,
Elroy, man. That's Elroy,
Roy.
Of course.
Yeah,
he used to come and visit me all the time, but he doesn't come no more.
Yeah, Roy, why are you not coming anymore? Come on, dude.
What happened to you, man?
Yeah.
What happened to you?
Yeah, he's too busy 3D printing. If
exactly.
Yeah. 3D printing,
I got some stuff from Roy as well. Yeah, some 3D printed stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah.
He just joined our Taiwan Impact Entrepreneur organizing team.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Last week as well.
Okay.
And
so what is that about? How would someone join? You guys.
It's just we grew so fast.
I know, it's an explosion.
I didn't realize it. I mean, all I wanted was like 10 guys and girls, 10 or 15 guys and girls sitting around the table, drinking some beers, talking crap.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And that sounds like a chef's group that I'm part of. Yeah,
it just literally blew out of proportions.
I mean, we all have kind of the same idea. We want to help entrepreneurs, but it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. It's a really hard because Like I went to one of the meetings. I had a great time.
Yeah, only one bloody meeting.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Thursday. I
had 2 of your burritos. You owe me one.
I owe you one. I'm coming again. I'm coming again soon. So I had a Thursday night. I take my daughter to jiu-jitsu. You know, she goes to jiu-jitsu class, and I do the adult class as well.
Yeah.
But no, so we went out. I had a great time, and I met like such a wide range of people. Like some were like experienced and like okay, we were chatting, and then some were just like. I met a girl. I can't remember her name. Sorry, but
nice.
All right, there we go. So I met this girl, and she's like,
smells divine.
Yeah. Well, you want to jump in on that?
No, go on.
Okay. So basically, I met this girl, and she's like, hey, you know, is it your first time? I'm like, yeah, first time to this group. Come to check it out. And she's like, are you looking to open a business? I'm like, no, I have a business already. And then she's like, well, what is it? And I said, well, I got a Mexican restaurant, and I started a podcast recently. She said, how old is the restaurant? I said, like 14 years or something. And she's just like, then why are you here? She just like, why are you here then? And I'm like, what? But then I met another guy, and it's just like everybody, it's just the range of people. It's great. I had a good time, and one of my customers, a Canadian guy, he was there, and I hadn't seen him in years, and he's like, hey, I'm doing cinnamon buns. And I'm like, okay, do cinnamon bun.
Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, yeah.
Yeah, Otto. Yeah.
Otto,
and I'm like, okay, and he
knows all the beers in the world.
Exactly.
Love it.
And he was chatting with me, and he's like, I have the best cinnamon buns ever. He's like, I know you've had your guy, your buddy, Feed the Wife on your show, but I got the best. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I already got a guy, but, you know, if I need yours, you know, no problem. He's like, no, the next time I'm delivering in your area, I'm going to let you know and have my buns. I'm like, okay, no problem. Yeah. So last week he messaged me.
Wow.
He's like, I'm delivering in that area. Do you want some buns? I said, what do you sell them, like one or a dozen or what? He's like, dozen. This is the price, $800. I'm like, okay, send me a dozen. Just drop them off at the restaurant.
Yep.
They will give you the money. Okay. And he's like, mine are the best. And then I get them, and I'm like, okay, they look nice, whatever. I take them home, and I bite into them, and like, holy crap, these are delicious. His cinnamon buns are incredible. I really, like, I love my Feed the Wife guy, Jack Lee. Shout out to him. But Andrew Otto also, his buns were so good. And because I don't even really eat that kind of thing here anymore, because, you know, you can go to a bakery, and you'll see, like, these perfect breads and these not breads, cakes, donuts, but and then when you're looking at it, you're like, this is beautiful.
Like awful.
And then you bite them, and you're like, what happens?
There's nothing in it.
Yeah, it tastes like it's like a. Yeah. I mean, like the double chocolate tastes like
shit. Straightforward.
The double chocolates taste like angel food cake. You know, anemic angel food cake, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't really eat that stuff anymore, and so his dozen. Let's just say I had like. We finished his dozen in 3 days.
Wow.
I had like 6 or 8 myself. I think I probably gained a few pounds just off of those cinnamon buns. Because every day, like he messaged me, he's like, they're addictive. I'm like, yeah. And then I get home, and I'm like, shit, I want a cinnamon bun. You know, so I go into the fridge, and sometimes I would put them in the oven and just let them kind of toast up and warm up. And sometimes right out of the fridge, I would just wolf them down. And I was like, damn, they are very good. So I got to contact you, man, if you're watching. We'll do something with those buns. Delicious.
The last time I spoke to him, I think he comes pretty nearly every Thursday night to my events.
I was looking at the pictures. I've seen a lot of him,
And he's going to start doing it semi-commercial.
Okay.
Rather put it that way. Just getting some equipment and doing it.
For sure. I love it.
Otto, start making those things. We want it.
Have you tried them? They are absolutely...
Oh, no. By the way, Andrew
He
Otto,
hasn't brought you any? Andrew Otto, shame on you. You need to bring the buns to this guy.
Your stuff and I haven't
promoting him, and the man, the myth, the legend here has not even tried him. For shame. No, they are really good. And like I said, I don't even eat sweets anymore because I'm 42, and when I eat a bunch of calories, I have to work them off, and sometimes I have time, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just get fat from them, and unless it's really good, I don't want the calories. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want them unless it's really good. And I had like 6 or 8 cinnamon buns in 3 days, so They were good. Yeah, so they were definitely good, man.
Yeah, no. But when I started the group initially, I really wanted to have this perfect balance, 50-50 balance between foreigners and local entrepreneurs.
Yep.
And
I'll just, while you're talking, I'll pull up a couple pictures of the group. Yeah, it's all good.
I mean, but unfortunately, it's sort of, because English is a language that gets spoken there,
of course,
well, 99% of the time. After a couple of months, all the locals started fading out.
They fade out,
unfortunately. Okay. And the last thing I wanted was to be labeled as a foreign.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because for me, it's all about inclusion.
For sure, I
really
agree.
don't want to exclude people.
I agree. This podcast, I've done many episodes in Chinese, man. Like,
wow, respect.
Yeah, because let's do it, right? People are like, is it just for foreigners? I'm like, no, of course not. Why would I just do it for foreigners?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it for everybody doing something cool, man. Sorry, I cut you off. Keep going.
But also the other thing, because I really wanted it to be like a good mix, which it still is a good mix of like people who have very established businesses, all the way down to people who are still teaching, or they just have no clue what they want to do, but they're just there to learn.
Yeah.
But it sort of gravitated more towards, call it the kindergarten level of entrepreneurship.
That's okay. No, but I think it's great.
It's people who really, they want to do something, but they don't know what to do.
It's hard to find a starting point.
Yeah.
It's hard to find. Yeah.
And it's sort of, I would say the vast majority of the people in our group fall within that segment.
Okay.
But that's funny enough, those are the people I resonate with nowadays.
Okay.
I mean, I do consulting work in
larger
corporations.
Beautiful.
And, you know...
Now I'm curious. Now you got to expand on that, but finish your story.
You know, and I do consulting work on, you know, with people who have very established businesses, doing very well, work very closely to them. And yes, it is fun. It's nice. It's helpful. But I really enjoy working with the guys down there who's like really not sure what they want to do.
Like the grassroots almost,
like
right?
Really
yeah.
Just digging into their mindsets and putting those flip switches up.
Yep.
Because sometimes all a person needs is just a 5 or 10 minute chat.
I agree. Yeah.
And just, you know, most people just need to hear that you can do it. I believe in you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Those little words is all somebody sometimes need.
Because you hear the opposite from everyone when you want to start.
I mean, come on, how many
times
sure
are
you've
just like,
gotten so much shit.
Oh God.
From people
here.
Oh
my God. Yeah.
You know, like the nastiest comments and.
There you go.
Know, you're a very well-known person on social media. I'm sure you have to like.
Oh God, you should see like there's a lot of. So we got some more comments from Sirius. What's up?
Yo.
Otherwise, it'll be torture. I suggest a person wants to start their business. It's something they're passionate about. Agree. Otherwise, it'll feel like torture. Agree as well. It's not different from doing office job. Yeah, I agree.
There we go.
That's my man Elroy again. Come on, dude, we miss you.
Yeah, no, we
do. But I definitely I agree, man. Like I think. So just a little bit of encouragement, like. Even with my staff, like the other day, there was a couple of things on the menu that I was like, these. Grab. So we'll start with the green ones. Start with the green one.
Okay.
Start with that one, yeah. So that's jalapeno. So it's gonna start to go up.
Okay.
Get in on that, man.
That's
Get on
good.
while I'm talking here. Keep going. So I told my wife, I'm like, I want to redo the rice. I want to redo the beans. I want to do the chunky salsa. Redo a few things. She was like, okay. And basically. We closed like for half a day, and I'm like, let's retrain all these things. I'm like, okay, sounds good. So we did, and after that, after closing the half day, having lunch, retraining all these things, and when I'm retraining, all of my staff told me, you know what, you should do cooking classes because you're really good at teaching this. And they're like, how did you get that skill? I'm like, I coached soccer since I was 12. And I taught kindergarten here for a long time. And teaching kindergarten is still probably one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. I love kindergarten, man. I love it. And it's just, that's the way it should be. I love it. And since then, the vibe in the kitchen, like I said, when we bought out my investor and we cut out the office, we actually plucked a few employees that were, you know how it is, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to talk bad about them, but they're not fitting the mold. They're not fitting the team, right?
Perfect.
So you pluck those guys out, and then like the work ethic and everything is just kind of like going up. People start to chat, they're having fun, and I'm like, a job doesn't have to suck, life doesn't have to suck. I mean, it's life. Sometimes you're going to be making money, sometimes you're not. If you're here with me, I will do anything in my power to take care of you guys. But that's it. That's really it. I just feel people. Yeah, I know that bosses have a really bad name. I had a lot of crappy bosses. But so I'm trying not to be one, right? But sometimes I'm too nice, and then people kind of they walk all over me a little bit. So then I have to be like, hey, what are we doing? What are we doing here? So yeah.
Listen, this chicken, this jalapeno is absolutely delicious.
Yes.
But this is now pushing.
It's pushing the limits. All right.
Yeah. We're on the boundary there.
So when we can get fresh jalapenos from the farms, we get fresh jalapenos from a local farm. We make jalapeno poppers out of the big ones.
Oh, nice! What cheese do you put in them?
We use a cream cheese mixture. We put
nice. I'm up for that.
I'll fry some. I'll tell them to send some over.
No, not now. My mouth's burning like hell.
So we'll do those, and with the small ones, we make this sauce out of it. So, yeah, it's one of our favorites.
Hot,
it's one of our favorites. Yeah, for sure.
That's hot.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, brother.
So straightforward question: what kind of leader do you see yourself as?
I think I'm a great leader. No.
There we go. Let's go to war.
Next, let's go to war. So I listen to, for example, when I go to the gym in the mornings, first of all, I need that time by myself to just compose my thoughts. But I don't even listen to music. I'll either listen to a podcast, www.eddy.live, right? Or
you listen to your own?
No, I don't. I listen to it sometimes,
very
but not.
But that's all right.
No, I can't. I actually don't listen to my own very often. I'm not going to lie. I like Joe Rogan. I'm a big Joe Rogan fan.
There we go. Yeah.
And what I listen to, there's a YouTube channel called Fearless Motivation, and it's just basically motivational speeches. It's just talking, burn the boats,
those from like Tony Robbins.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Sure, no, that's cool.
And it's just like, that's what I listen to. And it's like, burn the boats. Hemingway said, you're all self-made, but only the successful admit it. This is the stuff that I love. That kind of gets me going, like I'll listen to music, but not when I'm working out. I really need the stuff that kind of gets me going. I didn't come this far to only come this far. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing really gets me like motivated, right? So I try to use that stuff and pass that on to my employees, and I cook with them. I'll eat lunch with my guys once a month or once every couple of weeks or whatever. I will take one of my guys out. We'll just go for lunch, and I'll be like, "How you doing, man?" Yeah. And they're like, "Good." So, how can we make it better? How can we make this better? Because, I want to give you more money. I want to give you more responsibilities. I think you're doing well. And
that's like a real Ernest Shackleton
I'm trying.
Strategy. Have you ever read his books?
I have not, man.
Ernest Shackleton. I
need to get some Arctic book recommendations from you, man.
Arctic Explorer. Because that's what he did in the, year or 2 years they were stranded in the Arctic and snowed in. Was literally take one of his crew at a time, and then really dig into the person and just talk to the person, see what their feelings are, and changing his persona according to each person. Absolutely. I'll send you some links on that.
Please do.
But it's some of the most incredible leadership you would ever find.
I love that.
I always said, if I had to get a tattoo, I'm gonna get his tattoo.
Okay, wow. Okay, I'll take that.
Of his face,
please do send me that, because I feel I mean, I've read a lot of books. I think the first book that kind of flipped my mindset on this was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Listen, I started with that. I think nearly everybody.
We all start with the same one, maybe.
A couple of times people put things up on my Facebook group.
Yeah, ooh, that is spicy.
Like which? which books are you reading, or which was your first business book? And I think Rich Dad Poor Dad, it tops.
It has to be.
Totally tops it.
It has to be because.
But great book.
Oh, it's great.
Series of books.
It's great.
Yeah.
You have with what's the other one? I can't remember where there's that little equation. I can't remember what the book is called.
Yeah.
Where it's like, employed, self-employed, business owner, and an investor, right?
What do you call it?
Quadrant, compound, cash flow quadrant, something like that, right? That's an amazing book as well. Yeah. And that book showed me that I was self-employed. I wasn't a business owner. It was great. Yeah. So definitely, I love Robert. The funniest thing was, let me finish my story. So Robert Kiyosaki's books have been amazing. And for me, I sucked at school. I coasted through. I failed so many classes. And everybody was just like, get a trade, work with your hands. Your son he's not very bright, So, yeah, it was weird. But this book kind of taught me there's other ways. I still drive my same scooter, like Rich Dad. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for me to go out and buy a car or something that I'm going to be paying,
That's it.
And I just feel like that cash flow quadrant as well taught me so much. I just the best part was I would say 4 or 5 years ago, Robert Kiyosaki came here, and he's older now. Yeah. And I went to I love him. I love those books, and I think I paid 10,000 NT to go see him speak. Me and my business partner at this location at the time.
Okay.
We went, and it's funny because he's older. Because you see him on his videos, and he's really chipper, and But now he's older. He's kind of like chubby, and people were asking him the same questions about Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah. And he's just like, just read the book type deal. Because he's just like, man, I've been answering that question for 30 years. It was so funny to see. Like he's a guy, he's human, right? It was cool, man. I have to say, Rich Dad Poor Dad was one of my favorites. Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, I love all Napoleon Hill's books.
Sometimes I'll just put on, like he's got some YouTube videos where he's just reading through his book. I'll just put that on, and I'll just it's like meditation for me. I love that.
And I like that it's
so
old videos
old.
where he reads. It's
those are great.
You hear a crackling in the background. Yeah,
I love that. It's so good.
No, I love it.
So good, yeah.
So, okay, how do you when you work with your staff and you say you take them out and things, but how do you still keep the leadership position or the hierarchy position where you keep it balanced?
That's hard. That's a hard one for me because I'm always happy to come down to the front lines and do whatever I have to do. Like the other day, I got my Indonesian guy in the front here. He's amazing. He's one of the best guys we've ever had. And we had some Taiwanese, people. I mean, this is not common, but this is just one of the things that popped into my head. He went over and spoke English to them, and then they said, "Do you speak Chinese?" And then he's just like, "Yeah, of course. I study Chinese here." So then they spoke Chinese to him, and he's like 18. Yeah. He's like 18 or 19. Yeah. And then they're just like, "Okay, well, if you speak, what did they say? Let me remember." They said, "If you speak Chinese, why are you speaking English to me?" And then he's just like, "Okay, we'll speak Chinese, right?" Yeah. And then they're just like, "Oh, you speaking English to me because you think you're better than me? You can go back to your own country, right?" Yeah. They said that to my Indonesian intern guy who's like amazing. And then he told me that, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I will take care of these guys myself personally. I mean, I'm not going to go over and be like, what the fuck, but no, they're like, no, I will take care of it. So I will stay here, and I will basically babysit this couple, this group, to make sure that they don't do this to people. Like they've had that. I've had a lot of people that they just kind of shit all over my staff. Yeah. And then like girls are crying, guys are like tearing up, and I'm like, I take care of it myself.
It's vitally important when you're a leader of a community. Yeah. Whether it's the staff of 5 or the few thousand people. Yeah. If you're the leader, like Alexander the Great said,
I love it.
If you want to be a great leader, you have to lead by example, and you have to lead from the front.
Yeah, I agree.
You
100%.
cannot send your staff out there and say, just suck it up and deal with it and wait for it. No.
Yeah.
I think it's also a little bit I get very aggressive.
Okay,
in that kind of sense. If
of course.
Anybody touches anyone in my community or my inner circle, I can see the build up. Yeah, sure, you should. I mean, we've had a thing very recent with internet troll.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's crazy.
It's you do not want to know what happened, not about him, but the community that got up. Ed, in the past 10 days, more than 200 people contacted me personally. People phoned me just out of the blue, and they're like, wow, you're standing up to this guy. You're not supposed to be feeding the troll. I'm like, you know what? Fuck that.
No.
I will feed him poison.
Yeah.
I'm going to annihilate this person.
I'll take that, brother. Hell yes.
I'm going to annihilate this person.
I love it.
Because
Yeah,
we know his identity. We know his wife's identity. We know where he runs a little business. A foreigner running a business here.
I mean, come on. You think we're not going to find you? Like, that's crazy.
Well, we know exactly where he is.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway, so just by showing to people openly, as a leader of a group, okay, I've got really good people helping me out. I mean, I'm not the only one at the top at the moment.
No, I agree. Yeah.
If anybody shoots a bullet in our direction, I'm going to take it, but I'm going to go and annihilate.
Yeah.
But
you're going to give it back.
Okay. Simple.
I love it.
That. So
I have to agree. I agree.
Don't
cross the boss right here. No.
No, but
I agree.
For me, that's leadership.
I agree.
You have to protect your community.
I agree 100%.
It's myself, Jamie, and Nigel, and Elroy who joined us, and Adele and Yusuf, who's all supporting me in the group. Yep. We spend hours a day on our group going through each and every comment, each and every post that gets put up. Is it legit? Is somebody being toxic? It takes us hours to do that.
For sure.
I looked at my statistics on my phone recently. I spend 6 hours a day on average on Facebook.
Okay.
Well, and that is just moderating, deleting, blocking, checking things out. Is this person legit? Cross-referencing.
I
asking
agree.
Somebody else, do you know this person?
I saw your post about that guy. I know exactly what you're talking about, and actually that dude did try to add me for sure.
Yeah, no. Look, he tried a lot of shit.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
But anyway,
I know it's crazy.
We've got the ball rolling. It's
silly.
We've had the most magnificent people that came in and said, I had lawyers contacting me and saying, we'll help you. And I'm like, listen, dude, I'm not, what, do I have to pay? Is this a sales pitch? And we're like, no. It's you run an organization for disabled people who were attacked by somebody who is known.
Yeah.
It's like we just want to, we want to take this person down.
I'm going to pull that up.
I even had a message, from a Filipino boxer who lives in Taiwan.
Oh, and he's like, want me to fix that for you? That's Mexican style.
He begged me.
Give me his address.
Come on, just tell me who this person is. I'll go and deal with him. I'll sort him out. Look, I come from Africa.
It's the same as Mexico, man.
When we go to a police station and report something,
the
policeman gives you 2 options. It's like, shall we open an investigation, or for an extra additional fee, we'll get rid of the problem.
It's like Mexican style, man. I love it.
And when this guy contacted me, I was like,
okay,
you know what? That's very tempting.
That's very tempting. I like it. Yeah.
But okay, let the Taiwanese law run its course. And if all else fails, hey, I've still got the guy's contact.
You got the Filipino boxer, man.
He sounds pretty...
I like him. I like it, yeah. And it's crazy because you're not a foreigner-only group, but it's a big community. It's a supportive community.
That's it.
It's a good thing, and there's always going to be haters. I mean, like, it's just the way it is. I actually, it's funny you should mention. There's a foreign-owned business actually in this area, not food, something else. And I met the guy a couple times, seemed polite. One day, out of the blue, he gave me a 1-star review. Gave my restaurant a 1-star review, and it's like, you're a foreign business owner in this area, and you're gonna give me a 1-star review. Like, even if you didn't like it, don't give anything. You know what I mean? But it's like, now when I see him, it's awkward, right? And it's just like, whenever anybody's like, hey, I need to get my whatever fixed. I heard about this place. Am I going to be like, yeah, he's a great guy? I'm like, no. I'll be like, well, you know what? I don't know how it is. Usually I'd be like, yes, you should go. He's a great guy. But it's weird. I'm like, now I have to be like, well, that guy, I don't know. I don't know that much about him. So,
see,
yeah.
The thing is,
it's weird. What are we doing?
First of all,
what are
Taiwan
we doing
is very small. There are 23 million people living here. Taipei is very small. The foreigner community is even so much smaller.
I know.
So,
what are you doing?
And we're all interconnected.
Yeah, we're all connected. Yes.
I mean, I checked out one of your Facebook profile. I think we've got about 100 or 120
it's not surprising.
shared friends.
Not surprising. It's not surprising,
okay? We're all interconnected. It's like a big spider web. And if you want to be the screw up, the rotten one somewhere, dude, sorry for the word, but you're fucking yourself.
I know.
Badly.
It's true.
This is a small community. We can cut, I don't want to misuse or abuse any authority or power that I have, or use the group for any malice purposes.
Of course.
But if we had to make somebody's name public for doing such vile acts,
it's not that hard to do.
I tell you what,
I know
it's not going to be good.
It's crazy.
We're all here to support each other.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat.
How would your business be if you had to remove all the foreigners? What percentage foreigners?
Oh God, I'd say we're 50-50. So half of it's gone.
Would you survive on if 50 gets taken away?
Not really. No. Well, the thing is, I don't know. It used to be, I would say, 70% foreigner, and then slowly, the Taiwanese, they come in. They were like, hey, this is a good place. Hey, they got nice beers. Hey, they got some good food. And then they come, and everybody likes the atmosphere of how there's a white guy sitting over there, and there's a black guy sitting over there. There's ABC guys here. There's Taiwan. Everyone's just eating, having a drink, being loud, having a good time.
Yeah.
It's not like, there's Latinos there. It's fun. I mean, this is like an international place where you can get a good bite, you can get some good beer.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'll always come out and I speak Spanish, so I'll speak Spanish with Latinos. I try to keep the filter on so it's not so ghetto. Yeah. Then of course I speak English with the people that are speaking English, and I'll speak Chinese with the Taiwanese, and sometimes Taiwanese, they'll come in and they want to speak English. I'm like, great, okay, I'll speak English with you. I mean, it's a service business. I just want everyone that comes in to have a good time. That's it. And sometimes people have not a good time. Something happens, there's a mistake. Okay, I'll comp them something or whatever. It's part of the business. But the idea is everyone that comes in has a good time. That's really it. It's just that's simple, Yeah. And I'm a pretty positive guy, I think. Like, I just want everyone to be happy, and I just think everyone can be. I mean, you don't have to think about the negative parts. Like I was saying, you were saying about sometimes working with your partner.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, we'll be arguing about something, and I'll be like, wait. Step back, and let's think about day one when we were fucking broke.
Yep.
And now let's look what we have now. Okay, that one guy's an asshole. 1-star review, whatever. It's par for the course. We're doing all right.
There we go.
We're doing all right, so just take it easy,
Yeah.
Don't let this one guy ruin your day or your week or my day, because you're so mad that you're ruining mine, like, take it easy. Just take it easy, right?
Yeah, but you know why
What's up?
ruins things? It's because 99% of the time we are used to getting compliments.
Oh, sure.
So we're not used to that one
Oh, I know.
Really bad.
It's crazy.
Thing.
Yeah.
So we do take it personally, but we don't look at the positive side.
You get all these 5-star reviews, and you're like, oh, cool. 1 star, and then you open it, and you're like, what the 1 star? You know, like it's crazy. I agree, 100%, man. How was that? Spicier?
No, very nice.
Okay,
really
good,
nice.
Good,
I just swallow it quickly. So
okay, perfect. Okay.
I might curse you tomorrow morning.
No problem.
I'll give you a call. Man. I'm not sure if you remember. I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I posted a photograph. Me and my partner were walking in a street, and there was a shabu shabu hot pot place.
Yes.
Who had out on the sidewalk, they had a sign that said, give us a 5-star review on Google.
I saw that, sure.
And
yes.
we will give you a free plate of fries.
I did see that. I did see that, yeah. That's not quite as common, but it's not as uncommon as you think, yeah.
Yeah, but it just really undermines. Look, we all know reviews and things are rather bullshit.
Sure.
But this just undermines it so much more.
I'll even up you one after you're done your story, man.
No,
yeah.
Carry on.
So my wife, we went to this haircut place, and we chat with the lady. You know, super nice lady. She told us that because we were talking about reviews and 1 stars and blah blah blah. She said that I think Taobao was like an online.
Yeah.
On Taobao, you can order 5-star reviews. You can buy 5-star reviews for your restaurant or for your business.
On Google?
Yeah. Well, Facebook doesn't have them anymore, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotcha. on Google. Like you go to Taobao. I haven't looked at it, but she said you can go on there. 1 5-star review costs X amount of dollars or whatever. And they probably on the other side have people that are like, hey, 50 NT for a 5-star or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know what the prices are, but I just found that out recently, and that's crazy.
Well,
that's
I mean,
it's not surprising.
A plate of fries costs them what, 8?
Yeah, 8 NT or something.
8 NT
yeah,
to make.
For sure.
So
yeah.
that's what it costs.
That's what it costs. Yeah.
Costs them to do.
Sure. I always, when people are having a good time, if they come, they love this place, I'd be like, hey, man, if you really like us, if you're on Google, give us a review. But I'll never be like, I haven't even said that probably in years, but it's like, hey, because sometimes we got a lot of really good reviews, all 4 and 5s, but there's a few 1s, and those are the ones you remember, right? Yeah. On Chinese, the last one we got was on Chinese New Year. It was packed. We had this couple. I think it was a Latino dude and a Taiwanese girl. And first of all, we told them there's going to be a long wait because it's Chinese New Year. It's packed. And actually, there's no tables, but I can give you that one. 2-seater there. But it's going to be a wait. They were super rude. Again, to my Indonesian guy. They're super rude to him. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then at the end, apparently they got a platter and they had tortillas and stuff. And then at the end, they wanted some extra tortillas to go. So they ordered a 6-pack of corn tortillas. And then they came up and they're like, we waited an extra 10 minutes for this 6-pack of corn tortillas. And we're like, well, that's because we hand press them. You know, we're like, we're pressing everything out, and it's packed. It's Chinese New Year. It's packed. And then they refused to pay the service charge. We're like, okay, whatever, no problem. Fine. Okay, no problem. And they took the corn tortillas, and they refused to pay for the corn tortillas. And then we're just like, my wife was like, and I'm like, doesn't matter. Just let them go. And they gave us not 1, but they both signed in to their Google accounts and gave us 2 1-star reviews. Yeah. And it's just like, and I looked at him and I'm like, and I know the whole story and I'm like, I'm not going to reply. Should I reply? I haven't replied. Yeah.
But Eddie, you know,
it's
smart
crazy.
People know that whenever a 1-star review has been given, you know, it's just it's ridiculous. You know, it's just a sour ass. Somebody
for sure.
Who had a bad day or he's,
I know.
There are so many toxic people who just wants to cause shit. Unfortunately, it makes them feel
watch the world
more
burn.
Superior.
Yeah. If everybody else's life is miserable, that brings me up a notch, right? I know.
Smart people can read through
it's true. I know. It's true. But
it does hurt.
It does hurt still. Sure.
But we bounce back. I mean, we've got the other 99 reviews who are like, hey, perfect. and we know by genuine reviews.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's that's the way it is, man. But it's just, it's still, even after like 15 years, it still hurts. But you're like, hey, you know what? It hurts less because you just feel like, come on, man. Yeah. Like, you had a shitty day. Yeah. I had a shitty day. I don't have shitty days. Even if I'm working 12 hours in the kitchen, I'm busting, I'm having a good time. I'm fine with it. I'm joking with my guys. My kitchen, I got a Taiwanese, Indonesian, Turkish. Like, I have a Russian girl in the front, Indonesian kid in the front.
And you call it Mexican food.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, they're all making Mexican food.
Where's the Mexican coming?
Yeah, well, I'm the fake Mexican in case you didn't know, right? But can we get one more beer? One more long dog. Yeah. No. Enjoy. No, dude.
You out.
No. It's good.
It's not a 24-hour podcast.
No, it's not. We're almost done, man. We're just gonna finish that. We're almost done.
Okay, but listen, before we finish off.
Yeah.
So what's the vision for Eddy's? Oh shit! Sorry.
That's okay.
What's the vision for Eddy's Canteen for the next?
You should have your own podcast, man. Your questions are good.
Well, I'm making use of it.
I love it.
This one over.
No, let's do it. Please do. www.eddy.live. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, right?
There
Blam.
You go.
Let's go. Blam.
What's the vision for Eddy's?
So I bought this course off an American guy who teaches you how to systemize your restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming. His beer's coming.
Systemize.
So I need. Like, things are good. Profit is okay. Like, we're finally doing decent. I want to enjoy the beers, brother. Enjoy right there. There you go.
There we go.
I want to systemize this, and I want to grow it. I don't want to physically be doing all the work, right? Because I've done that for 15 years. I can do it for another 15. I'm fine, but I want to... Cash flow quadrant. I'd like to be a business owner as well, and I am one now. I've delegated. Everything's good. I didn't make any of this food today. I got a good team, but I need to have a systemized business to where people come in. Like, it's not the best example, but it is a good example. McDonald's system. Yeah. You could get a 15-year-old guy who's can't even tie his shoes. Yeah. You put him through the McDonald's training, and he's making Big Macs. It's foolproof. It's going to be everything's good.
Yeah.
I need that, something like that.
No, listen.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to talk on franchising systems, I would happily help you.
Oh, okay.
It's a massive market I see.
Yeah.
In Taiwan, and it's going to grow exponentially.
Taiwanese, I would love it.
The mom and pop stores are dying out.
Oh, I know. I know that. That's what I don't want.
First of all, it's older generation people doing the beef noodles and things.
And they're delicious, yeah.
Yeah, but they're dying out because also rent is super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just younger generation. How often do you see like a 18, 20-year-old kid working in his mom and dad's beef noodle place? Never.
You want to know why? You know why.
Well,
you know exactly why. They because they see mom and dad busting their ass their whole life. They grew up in a restaurant, and they see this hustle, and then mom and dad turns to 70 years old, and they're like,
now it's your turn.
Your turn. You hustle at. Now you hustle.
You do
it.
Dishes.
Yeah.
For 50 years.
Yes.
Non-stop.
And there's that hustle.
Over ago.
Yeah.
But there's like.
And nobody wants to do that. That's tough. Yeah.
There's a place. I live close to 228 Peace Park in Ximending, and there's a place that opened up a box lunch place.
Okay.
It's called Miss Energy.
Okay.
MISS Energy.
Okay.
It's a bunch of I call them kids. They're like between the age of 18 and 25. Think about 8
young guys.
Young guys. Decided they're going to take box lunches and they're going to totally revamp it.
Beautiful.
So they sell it for 100 NT. It's like purple rice. It's steamed.
I love it.
Chicken.
I love it.
It's the most
best biendang you've ever
eggs, had. You always get the half a boiled
like
egg.
Super overcooked
it's like soft and it's beautiful and so tasty. It's
I like
that
that
rubbery thing.
Okay.
So
that's great.
I love the concept that they went and they took the traditional.
It's beautiful. I'm going to check it out.
Dish, and totally revamped it to sort of suit the generation.
How are they doing? Are they doing well?
Jesus.
Yeah, good. Sorry. I love it.
You must see.
I will. I will go see
people
that.
queuing up outside.
I love that. I love it.
No, if you're ever in an area, pop around.
I will.
My office
I will.
is just there.
Okay, that sounds fantastic.
I go there.
Man.
I would say 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
So I love that concept of kids taking over old concepts.
I love it.
Revamping.
That's the way it should be, man. You know, I think, you know, there's obviously Din Tai Fung, right? Like the parents, they built it. You know, they had, I guess, the one shop, and it's similar. I don't want to say it's similar to us because Din Tai Fung is amazing, but you go through your whole life, your whole process.
Yeah.
You're doing your one shop, and everybody, people love it. I mean, I get so many people that come in here and they're like, let's put one in Taichung, let's put one in Kaohsiung. And I'm like, I have had more than one shop a few times, and I don't have a powerful enough system. So other than me training every single person that comes in, I cannot do that. But I want to. So I am desperate to find the answer, because there's one, and then there's just like franchising.
I would happily sit down with you. And
really?
talk
Oh
about
my God! Let's
franchising.
do it. Let's do it. Okay.
That's an old thing. I really enjoy that.
Okay.
Have you ever considered, like, all your sauces are handmade?
Yes.
You do it here.
We do. We do everything here.
Sort of bottling it and selling.
We do bottle it. You know what we don't do is we just don't mention it. That's so stupid. It's so stupid to say. That's pretty stupid, I know. But when people ask, we're like, yeah, of course we bottle that.
Yeah, but why don't you get it out? Why don't you?
We are. That's now that the office and all. I have the labels. Everything's the design. Everything's ready. We just haven't done it. Our corn tortillas. We get corn from a Taiwanese farm, dried corn. We wash. We grind. We make our own corn tortillas.
Great stuff,
They're
man.
So much better than the instant flour. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And people come and they're like, "Oh my gosh, they love it," and we can do it. We can sell that. We can sell so many things.
I think you can do freaking good.
We can do a lot. We can do a lot.
Doing stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. The problem is we run out of hands because the restaurant's busy. And we just run out of hands, and we're like, should I hire another crew just to make those? You know, that's kind of where I'm like, where should I go with it, right? Our flour tortillas, our corn tortillas, all the salsas, all the hot sauces. Basically, every single thing here is made in-house, which is awesome, but labor-intensive, right? But, so I was going to say this area has a lot of, when there was no COVID, a lot of international schools traveling through, playing with the American school and stuff like that. And like people from like Bangkok, people from Singapore, people from everywhere. They come and they eat, and they're like, why isn't there one in Singapore? Why isn't the one there? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I cannot do that. And that's where I'm stuck, and that's what I want to do. I want to do that. Because 9 out of 10 of people are happy. Most people are quite happy with it. Yeah. You can't please everyone. Yeah. So what can you do, right?
I would say, look, I was in the restaurant industry in England many years ago.
Okay, I didn't know that.
In the previous millennia.
Okay.
And I bought into 4. Well, I had some Malaysian.
Bought into franchise? Okay.
No, I had Malaysian business partners.
Okay.
And we started 4 Chinese restaurants.
Beautiful. Okay.
You know what? Even we were 4 people involved there. It just got so out of control. They were big. They were busy. Turnovers were extremely high, but also the expenses were ludicrously out of control.
I know all about that.
So many months. Even the lowest level, a table runner earned more than each one of the partners. Yeah. It was...
That happens to us at the beginning.
Crazy. Yeah. The hours we worked, you know what it's
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I think...
But there has to be a way, right? Because there are places that are doing it.
They are... Look,
There's a way,
There are some people, but they're just really good at it.
Yeah, well, that's
It's all about delegating.
I agree.
It's you need to know how to delegate properly.
Okay.
And in order to know how to delegate properly, you have to be a bit of an ass.
Oh, sure. I agree.
You can't be the friendly guy just saying, yeah, well, okay, cool, I trust you. Off you go.
Sure.
You have to be an ass. You have to hire and fire and...
Yeah. No, I agree.
And that's obviously not the kind of person you are. Like you've
it's
said
tough.
Before.
It's tough to do. Yeah.
But if you go a franchising route, very different.
Oh, for sure.
Very different, because the person who buys into your franchise,
they want a system.
They
want a money machine. Yeah.
He puts his life savings in, because most of the people who do buy into franchises don't have much money, they don't have much business skills, but they want to do something.
They want to buy a powerful system, a money printing machine.
That's it. They want to buy it lock, stock and barrel with the manual,
of course,
everything.
I know.
So if you can set that up,
that's the plan.
Bob's your uncle. You know, you can
that's
do
the plan.
You can do things.
I like I said, this is such a hard business, but at the end of the day, I love it. I love coming out and chatting with people. I love doing all that stuff, man. It's good. The podcast is something that, like I was saying, I get to meet cool people and we get to share stories. But I do want to. I also want to blow the podcast up. It's growing pretty well. I just again, it's just things that I enjoy.
But you're setting up a home system now. Tell me about that.
I am. So at home, so it's. I mean, I can't say it's similar, but it's like a Joe Rogan style setup.
Nice.
With a big table with 4 boom arms and stuff like that. It's all set up. It's just when we moved to this place, we changed to Taiwan Dagada internet, and it's cable internet, and it's faster. And when I test it, it's great. It's way faster than what I have here. But when I actually go live, it lags and it's shit. So I'm still fixing the bugs on that. Everything else is done. The boom arms, the microphone, everything's great. So I have 4 chairs. I've got lights. It's ready.
Nice.
That's what I want to do. Is I want to get different topics, different people. We'll get you and the founders of TIE in there, and we'll do a show. We'll do it, and it's there, and we don't have to do. Yeah, we just chat. It's like
what
some whiskey.
Would be the purpose of that show?
What would be the purpose? Again, similar to this, where we're just kind of just introducing what people are doing, but here it's hard to have more than one person. Like sometimes we'll have 2, but we're all kind of like squishing in here. I'm just a big Joe Rogan fan, and I love when he gets a big group in there, and it's a great conversation.
Nice.
And if it blows up, great. If it doesn't, it's gonna be damn fun anyways, man.
No, you just keep on going.
Just keep going.
People love it, and
I love it.
It's just fun.
It's fun. This is great. I mean, we did almost 2 hours already, brother.
Wow.
Time flies, right? Yeah,
time flies.
Yeah, time flies, man.
Before we start getting the thumbs down and
no, it's all good. No, but I need you to get on that, man. No, the 1 stars are.
No, come on, guys. For those of you who are still on here, come on, give him some thumbs up.
Yeah, let's go. Give me some thumbs up.
Give a Bruce some
love. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, right? Please.